Hey, welcome back to another episode of E Venture Prints. This is a YouTube show where I am going over photos I've taken in my past and giving some detail and context to them because that's something I've always enjoyed when I take photos, looking at them, where were they taken, what was the thought behind them, why do I like them, and why would I choose to share them to my Instagram. I have challenged myself to do this twice a week throughout the year of 2026. I think it might be only once a week for a 9-week period when I'm in Europe, but other than that, twice a week. And it has, I'm going on 2.5 months here. Now, I will admit that the last few episodes have not gotten a ton of views, but hopefully, at some point, when I put out this documentary I'm filming on a YouTube for YouTube, hopefully at some point people will look back and find out that I did these through the year 2026. So if you're watching this in like 2027 and you came here from the documentary, like when people put in the comments, "Oh, I came here from this," or when people are like still watching in 2029, thank you. Even if you're watching this in 2029, I appreciate it. So yeah, I've been into photography most of my life, ever since high school when I took a graphic arts class, learned how to develop photography in a darkroom. Did more in community college, took a few classes there as well. And here we are. I'm doing two special episodes this week. These are always air on YouTube Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. and they correspond with an Instagram post of the picture I'm talking about on the show. I'm doing special episodes this week. I am diverting from the original photos I plan on taking because for the second year in a row, I've been lucky enough to I have worked the last 3 years, 3 summers, seasonally up on an island called Mackinac Island in northern Michigan. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a massive tourist island in as I said, northern Michigan, famous for fudge and also having no cars. So just horses, bikes, and walking, and I've been obsessed with it ever since my family first started going there 30 years ago, and I've been working there. They have a juried art contest every year where people can submit drawings, paintings, any type of art. I have done photography. I do photography, and I entered one last year, and I was lucky enough to get selected, and I was once again selected this year, and I entered in two. You can enter up to three. I entered two, and both got in. So super cool for me. Very excited about that, and I thought this would be a good time to show those particular photos. One in the Tuesday episode, one in the Thursday episode. But again, most people, for the people that do watch this, are probably not watching on those days. So you could be watching on a Sunday, but that's okay. This is the Tuesday episode, no matter when you're watching it, even if you're watching it on a Thursday. This is still a Tuesday episode. I don't care. So here we go. Let's get into the photo for this Tuesday episode that you'll be watching whenever. And sometimes when I do these, I usually do the little screenshot where I have the kind of zooming in on exactly where this is. I'm not going to do that with these. I just did one on Mackinac Island recently. Mackinac Island is just not that big of an island, but this is the picture I selected. I'll go into a bigger, see if I can do real quick. I'm trying to see. Uh, we'll do this. So this is the photo. Like I said, I entered two into the contest, and I was very lucky that both got in. I took this. I actually think it looks bigger when I do it like here. I took this on a Sunday or Saturday, sorry, Saturday, July 26th of 2025 at 7:09 a.m. and it's on Market Street. And if anyone's familiar with Mackinac Island at all, there's only two main streets downtown. There's Main Street, which is the street that the heart of it all. That's where most of the restaurants are, the hotels and whatnot. And there is a secondary street called Market Street, and it has a few shops, and a few little bed and breakfast. But it's a lot more of some of the working part of the island. The post office is there, the police station, the fire department is there. So there's some more of the working aspects of the island. The town hall is on Market Street. And so the theme of this year's contest was Echoes of the Past. There was actually even more to it than that. A look through time or something. And it references that bring the island is like a living museum, and so I thought the horse carriages are what it's mainly known is a huge thing that it's known for. I like to take these photos of Mackinac Island, and we're gonna in future episodes, I'll show a lot of photos of Mackinac Island because I'm obsessed with it. But uh, it's so good to get down early in the day before that first ferry comes on, because once that first ferry comes on, it's packed with tourists, which I love. I actually love the tourists on the island. Not everyone does, but I do. But it makes it harder to take photos like this where nobody is on the street in this image. So I like to go down. I always wake up early anyway. I'm a guy who wakes up at 5:30, 6 o'clock every day anyway. So on a day like this, where it was sunny out and beautiful, what a day to get down and take a photo. So you have the uh, the flowers up here in the top that were hanging from the light post. I thought that was kind of cool because it framed it on the top there, and then you frame the left side with the light post as well. And then the right, you got the sidewalk and an empty Market Street on a beautiful Saturday morning on Mackinac Island. You got the Fort Mackinac, which we'll actually talk about on Thursday's episode because that's where the other photo was taken. You got the Fort Mackinac way up there at the top, and then of course the horses. Horses, they say horses are king on Mackinac Island, and there they are. One of the first taxis of the day to go pick up the first ferry of the day. And so there they are, and no one's on the street, as I said already. So I really appreciate that. The taxis, classic taxi there. Market Street is looking beautiful. The flags out there. It's as this is as good as Mackinac Island gets right here. It's just perfect. Nobody. I can't stress enough how hard it is to get a photo where nobody is on any of the streets on Mackinac Island. So I entered this, and I entered another one that I'll talk about on the episode for Thursday. So yeah, that was my thought. I called it Morning on Market Street, and that's, because it's Market Street and it's Morning on Market Street. It's a very simple answer or simple title for sure. I love horses. I've worked with a pair of horses all 3 of my years, and not to shamelessly plug my Patreon, but I do have a Patreon Venture Cast Patreon page. And you can see hundreds of videos of me petting horses and feeding horses and working with horses and what it's like to live and work on Mackinac Island, as well as what it's like to drive around in a minivan and try to do stand-up comedy in all 50 states. So I am wearing my Mackinac hat, my Mackinac hoodie for this themed episode here. And yeah, that will do it. I don't know the names of these horses in particular. There's about at any given time, there can be upwards of 500 horses in the summer of Mackinac Island. So I don't know them all. I do know a lot, but not these ones. The ones I worked with during this year was Molly and Nate and Molly. And then this street, I forget what this street is, but there. But yep, that's it. Morning on Market Street. And this will be hanging in the Art Museum on Mackinac Island all summer long and from May 8th to October 4th. So if you're anyone that watches this in the year of 2026, feel free to head up and check it out. I think the Art Museum is a slept on thing on Mackinac Island, not just because I've been lucky enough to have a photo in there the last 2 years, but generally, if you like the island, it has some amazing old time maps and drawings of what it used to look like in the 1700s and stuff like that. So super cool. I also do a podcast where I talk about living and working on Mackinac Island, as well as driving around telling jokes all over the country. That is called the Venture Cast. It is on Spotify and iTunes. My Instagram is eVentureCast. I've had somebody reach out already when I posted this on my Facebook and purchase this. All these photos are for purchase, and just hit me up on any of those social networks, or text me 248-935-9241. If this is 2029, that's probably not still my number. But if it's 2026, it definitely is. So, all right, we'll do it for this episode of Venture Prints. I'll see you on Thursday's episode when we talk about the other photo I got entered into the contest for this year. All right, thank you so much as ever for watching this. Please, as always, share or like the video, comment on the video with pictures of that you've taken yourself of any of the themes that fit my episodes, or just anything. I would appreciate that. So that all helps. Okay. Thank you so much. See you.